Hello YouTube and welcome back to World Lads. Now, with it being the last week of closed beta for Ghost Recon Online, I thought it would be only fair to give you a few more videos just showing you how things are going on here. Now, it is the last week of closed beta, but to be honest, I think the main work has been done on this game. It's playing really nicely. There are a few points, and I'm going to go into those because I think they're quite important, but I'll go into those in a bit. But I think everyone can be pretty happy with the job they've done, and once open beta rolls in, if they put open beta in, of course, it may just be that they'll do some final few tweaks and go straight into release. But there've only been 4 maps and 2 game modes tested, so I don't know. Maybe they'll chuck in an open beta as well, just to test server capacities, etc. But they this last week had the introduction of new countries, which I presume was for that very reason. So I don't know. We'll wait and see. Anyway, so today what we're going to be talking about is spawns in this game, and don't worry, I'm not going to start yelling about spawn rape again, because I've already had a moan up about that. And what I'd like to talk about is something that I think is probably a little bit more positive and will really help with enjoyment, especially for new people. Now, I'll elaborate first about what I mean by the spawns. So the 2 game modes that we have are Onslaught and Conquest, both of which are objective based games. One where, well, as you can see for this current game, each team tries to get the middle point and then will carry on going forwards, gaining momentum, hopefully taking points, as it is here, C and then D and then E, or the other team will be trying to take point C, then B, then A. Now, that's fine. The game mode itself is fine, and it works very nicely. Onslaught as well is, as you've seen before, where there are 2 points, one team defends, one team attacks, and if they capture both points, they open up the 3rd point, and if the attacking side can get to the very end, then they win, and if the defenders keep them at bay, then they win. Again, there is no problem at all with that game mode. The problem that I have is that there are times, lots of times in fact, where you can get what is best described as being steamrolled. Okay, that is when a team is more than likely, due to matchmaking, better than you or your team, for example, and you go after C and they get C, and then within 2 minutes they've got B, and then within another 2 minutes they've got A, and basically as a result your team's got no points for its 4 minutes, and there's been very little enjoyment because you've just been smashed back all the time, and you're having to try and enjoy getting completely dominated when you've had no real opportunity of fighting back. Now, I know people are going to say, well, you should play with a better team and play with your friends. Wrong. That is not what I should do, and I will tell you why. It's because we are beta testing this. We are not playing a finished game. No one has made the decision yet that this will go into the full release. So it's therefore upon us as beta testers to take the opportunity to make this game enjoyable for everyone. Now, on the forums, what I've stated before is that what a lot of people tend to forget is that this game is for people who enjoy the 3rd-person shooter, 1st-person shooter, whatever you want. And it is not for elitists who think that they can just dominate new people and enjoy it from there. Where's the enjoyment from that? And secondly, where's the money going to come from UBI if all that happens on a free-to-play game is that the new people get hammered the whole time? They're not going to spend money. Most of them are just going to get annoyed and go and play something else. And when you're not paying to play the game, it's even more critical that the balance between appeasing new people and making the game more enjoyable for them, and keeping the veterans, the wrong word because it's new, but you know what I mean, don't you? Keeping the guys that have been playing it a lot, playing hard at it, keeping them entertained as well, and keeping it challenging for them. And that's a balance that, as beta testers, we are charged exactly with creating this scenario. And so, as a result, we come to my current problem. Now, the spawns, if you lose C, okay, you then have to spawn behind the next objective, which is B. But you don't spawn very close. And when I say not very close, I mean you're probably equidistant from B as you are from C. Now, the problem that this has for me is that if you are in the situation where you are getting steamrolled by another team, I feel, okay, that the onus is on the attacking team to come and get what is essentially your set of bases, i.e. B and A. It shouldn't be that it becomes a disadvantage that you've just been pushed back. If you've been pushed back, the chances are that you're already recoiling and you're gonna struggle anyway, regardless of the fact of how good the other team are, because you're on the back foot, and everyone knows that if you get into the zone, into that mindset that you're unbeatable, you've got your kill streaks running, your team seems to be working as a team, you don't need the distinct advantage of already being running at the next objective. So what I'm proposing is a fairly simple change. Basically, is that the spawn for the team that have just lost the objective should be 50% closer to the uncaptured objective than the enemy team will be as they come through. That means that even with the 4-5 seconds respawn times that we have, there should still be a good opportunity for you to set up not only a defensive perimeter, because it is possible still to defend, especially because of the long sight lines, but not a defensive perimeter, but a chance to move forwards again. The only way people are not going to get completely dominated, and I do understand that sometimes, regardless of where you put the spawn, whether they spawned on the uncaptured objective or not, sometimes it is going to just, it's going to be one-sided. All right, that's how games are. What I really would like to see though is if the spawns did move 50% closer, then people would not only be on the objective that was being ransacked by the other team quicker, they'd also be more incentive to push forward. Now, like I said, momentum plays a big part in any game, and in a battle situation, yes, I appreciate momentum will be with the side that are capturing the most. But because we're trying to create a balanced game that's going to appeal to lots of people straight off the bat and encourage them to essentially try and spend money, let's not make no bones about it. This is a money-making project as much as it is anything else for UBI, and if we're going to help them create a good game that is going to also make them money, then we've got to try and strike this balance. And I just feel that if I was given the opportunity, for example, if I'm in a team getting dominated, if I was given the opportunity to move forwards faster and almost be back on top of C even after it's captured, as an example, then I'd probably be happier to try and retake C instead of try and defend B. Now I hope you people, those of you that either haven't played the beta or don't really have a clue what I'm talking about, up in the right hand corner you can see the capture points. We've already taken the middle one, which was C at the beginning, and do we take D? We're going to take D sooner or later in a minute. And as you progress through those different conquest points, I suppose we'll call them, capture zones, flags, whatever, you're obviously moving forwards, and the enemy team, from here, the enemy team will be spawning a fair way back, almost at the back of the map. Now, because the team I'm playing with, okay, I'll be pretty honest, they weren't the best team, and neither the enemy weren't the best either, regardless of some of the newbie deaths that I do have. So they were more concerned. They weren't concerned about KD. They were just more concerned about being involved for a certain length of time, and that's fair enough. I mean, people are new, then whatever. I mean, I'm quite happy for them to learn. I'm quite happy to play with the guys as well. I'm not going to hammer someone for being a noob. I'll get a bit upset if people don't bother putting in some sort of effort. But that's an entirely different thing. That comes from vets and from new people. But even so, they should have been trying to push up with me, and they weren't. But if they had been pushing up, we could have quite easily won this game, probably 5 minutes earlier than we did, simply by pushing forwards faster as a unit. But as you can see, we created what appears to be a balanced game, but it's only a balanced game because of the level of the people playing. Now, when you get a game like this full of very good players, it can become a little more one-sided, and that's essentially what I'd like to try and remove from this game. And I think it's doable. It's only a slight change. Move the spawns forwards a little bit and let everyone have an opportunity to advance and, more importantly, enjoy it, because everyone plays these games for enjoyment, and we should be looking to do exactly the same thing, because, as I said, we have been given the opportunity to help create this game, help test it. The devs have been listening to us. They've made the changes as well, which is one of the good things, especially from UBI, considering the god-awful state that Future Soldier is currently in. I'm not going to go too deep into that, because I think I'm going to let Goblin G deal with that issue, considering how incredibly angry he is at the moment at the state of Future Soldier, and rightly so. It's broken, and he's been telling me that even he can't patch the game because the patch wrecks it beyond all recognition. I don't know. I'm not going to go too far in depth on it, because it's not really my place to do so. I haven't bought the game, so it's not fair for me to slate it. I can slate the Xbox game all I want, because I've bought it and I've suffered the crap that goes with it. Anyway, we're coming to the close of this now, so I'm going to try and wrap it up. But if you guys that are watching, if you agree, if you don't agree, if you think spawns are fine, then just comment in below and let me know what you think. I'd love to hear from you. Anyway, I've been Old Flads. Thank you for watching, and I shall speak to you soon. Cheers very much. Bye bye.